Marcus Rashford's brace was enough to secure the Three Lions into the passage of the round of 16 in the World Cup. Good morning and welcome to Sports Recap on Hills TV. I am Aidan Ruben.
And also the Terragon Lions of Senegal were not left out as they also wanted a piece of the round of 16 and eventually they got it after the defeating, talking about the side who were on the next all through, talking about Ecuador. I am Daniel Obasi.
Of course, before we talk about the World Cup, we know the World Cup is already going on and it's going to be ending December 18. But let's quickly begin from the local scene where Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osibajo will declare the 21st National Sports Festival open at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, the Delta State capital, on Wednesday today. Yes, before the opening ceremony, the Games Tag Delta 2022 will produce its first medal in the cycling event, while other events begin on Thursday according to the program of the local organizing committee. And of course, we're about to see a show of talents in Nigeria again in Delta. What are we to expect?
We should be expecting an amazing line of talent. We saw that worked out well for us in the last edition of the festival, where we saw blistering athletes who actually came out to represent us, both on the Commonwealth Games, not forgetting the World Championship, where we saw 2022 was a fantastic year when it comes to the track and field, and even a lot of athletics part for Nigeria. So I think this, just like what the sports minister said, this is our own Olympics. Let's go there, pick up this young athletes and make sure that they are up there making us proud at every point in time.
All right then, aside from cycling, hockey will also be introduced into the competition for the very first time to produce talents that will present Nigeria on the foreign scene. Talking about the Olympics 2024. Away from that story now to cricket, where the Nigeria's cricket team, the Yellow Greens, are expected to arrive in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, for the 2024 ICC Men's T20 Africa Sub-Region B World Cup qualifier on Tuesday. The team arrived in Rwanda via Zimbabwe, where they embarked on a week-long training tour with 4 warm-up games against the Midwest Rhinos Cricket Club in Kwekwe. Nigeria won the series 3-1, and the national coach Cliff Ogbimi of the players. Do you see Nigeria doing well in cricket?
This is not really our tough, but I think I've seen the progression. I've seen how these young lads have been able to progress, and early preparations have been key for them. Remember, they've been in camping in Ibadan, Zimbabwe. They are going to Rwanda. It shows that preparation is always key, and I think for me personally, the Yellow Greens are doing amazingly well, and I just hope they have a very amazing outing down there in Rwanda.
And now talking football this time, goalkeeper Andre Onana insists he puts his energy and into finding solutions to a situation that a footballer often experiences but found no will on the other side. Yes, the Cameroon international is flying back home after being omitted from the squad for their World Cup match against Uruguay on Monday. Him for disciplinary reasons. Onana has explained the situation from his perspective with a statement published on his social media stories. Cameroon coach Rigoberto Song on Monday said Onana could have been reintroduced into the team if he had changed his attitude and respected the rules. What's your comment on this?
I think Onana just proved that at some point when these local players begin to gain recognition on the foreign scene, when they return back to the national team, it's something wrong. I do not understand the level or the attitude he's trying to actually pull. It's really, really abysmal for me in all totality. I saw the game, the first game they played. You do not do that. You're a goalkeeper, you're not supposed to be playing up front. Now, you have your defenders who you could lay the passes to, but you came all in the first game, making sure that you were up front, What are you doing there? So that was where I saw that, and I knew this was going to be a problem with the coach. And then we saw what happened. The coach did feature him in the second game against Serbia, and then the rest is history. But for me, I think when players display this level of attitude, it shows that at some point they do not want to go far. I see players like, we've seen players who are big, gets criticized, and then they come back to doing what the coach, because at the end of the day, if anything happens, it's the coach who gets fired. So I think players should begin to change their attitude. If the coach says he doesn't like this, he wants you to play this pattern, please go ahead and do so.
Well, of course, we hope to see that replicated in the Nigeria Super Eagles team because some of the players are known for indiscipline in the team. Away from the local shores, now to the international scene, starting off with cricket, where the England squad, including captain Ben Stokes, has been affected by a virus on the eve of the first test against Pakistan in Rawalpindi. Around 14 members of the travelling party of players and coaches were advised to rest at the hotel on Wednesday. About half of the playing squad of 16 has been hit, with only 5 taking part in the optional training session. What is happening to Ben Stokes and his English team?
It's really sad, and unfortunately for them also, unfortunately, they also came with their own cook after the first illness suffered in the camp. Now, yet again, we're seeing yet another fever illness rocking the camp. It's a sad one. It's a tour anyway. They probably might just want to recover for this, but we just hope that hope they get a quick recovery from this illness.
That's right. England first returned from the T20 series in October, and their first 3 test games will begin on Thursday. That is tomorrow. And now moving to the next story where there's something going off with the female referee. We know Kisanga doing so well. She became the first female referee participating in the World Cup.
From Africa. Yes, it feels amazing. It feels amazing. And then on Thursday, we will be seeing yet another feat in the women's in the World Cup, where we will see the Frappat becoming the first female referee to officiate a men's game in the FIFA World Cup. It's going to be amazing because we saw that happen between Portugal and Ghana in the first game on Tuesday, where we saw Frappat was a part of the fourth official, and then she also had to go after the game, asked for a picture with Cristiano Ronaldo, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo gave her that picture. But I think we're seeing a shift from only men officials. Women are beginning to break the barriers, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Well, of course, congratulations to the French woman and also the African woman for being a part of the World Cup. We expect to see more of this in subsequent World Cup games. The 38-year-old was also the first woman to take charge of a UEFA League game. Away from that story, still talking about the World Cup, where Portugal booked their place in the World Cup last 16 as Bruno Fernandes' second half double secured a 2-0 win over Uruguay. The deadlock was broken in the 54th minute when Fernandes' cross was missed by Cristiano Ronaldo and flew straight into the net. The Manchester United midfielder added a second in injury time from a penalty spot as Portugal moved to the top of Group H with 6 points.
And still we're talking about World Cup matters. Yesterday we saw last group of matches being played, where Ecuador lost to Senegal by 2-1, while we also saw the Netherlands topping Group A after defeating the host Qatar by 2-0. Also we saw the United States of America defeating Iran by 1-0. And then the last game for yesterday, we saw the team England, the Three Lions, defeated talking about Wales by 3-0. So now round of 16, the 2 round of 16 games have been set. England will face Senegal, and then we will see Netherlands up against the United States. What are we expecting?
Well, the United States have really put up an impressive performance. I think yesterday they won their game 1-0 against Iran. Yes. I think Iran are out of the World Cup.
True.
And so in that group, USA and I think England have qualified from that group. Well, a good one for Gareth Southgate. Before this World Cup, his team was rocked with a lot of challenges, but there is a good one they have been able to scale through to the next round of 16. Still talking about the World Cup games, Kalidou Koulibaly's and Neves volley sent Senegal into the World Cup knockout stages for the second time in their history as they eliminated Ecuador at Erodi Khalifa International Stadium. The win means Aliou Cisse's side finished second in Group A, setting up a last 16 meeting with Group B winners England on Sunday. Senegal, England, what are we to expect?
Before we even come into all of that, we're expecting something fantastic. Everyone will want to just tip out the Three Lions off against the Senegalese side, but they've shown that without the Sadio Mane, they can still be formidable. And I think that's just one thing I love about the Senegalese side. But For the African continent, I would be rooting all out for Senegal all through the game. And then the big one for today, Poland up against Argentina. That group is still very much alive. Mexico up against Saudi Arabia. Argentina need a must-win in that game to progress to the round of 16. And also do not forget, we also see Australia up against Denmark by 4 p.m. today. So it promises to be an amazing one going into the round of 16. And then also bring to your notice that we saw earlier on yesterday, Kolo Toure actually has moved to Wigan Athletics, the championship side. He would be managing them a 3.5-year deal, and this is just so much. But for you, Argentina and Poland, what are you expecting?
Well, I expect to see Messi at the World Cup, but if Lewandowski is lethal enough, he might be able to send them to the next round of the competition. Alright then, that's the much you can take on today's edition of Sports Recap on Hughes TV. Trust you had a wonderful time. Join us in our subsequent bulletins and we'll be bringing you more in the world of sport. For now, I am Ayman Lupin.
And do not forget the NWFL season kickstarts today. Bayelsa Queens trying to retain their title up against Rivers Angels later on today. Do not also forget to follow us on all our social media handles on Facebook and Instagram and also on YouTube. It is just at Hills TV. Until we come your way some other time, I am Daniel Obasi.
Thank you for watching.